done other things along the way, but I'm a business attorney for the last 34 years. I also have been a social worker, more briefly. I've been a mom for 17 years, and I've been a local public official, as I just said. I also, right now, I'm doing some regional work as president of the Old Colony Planning Council and Pembroke's delegate to the Old Colony Planning Council. Why do I do all of this, right? So part of it I can say, please vote for me because I'm experienced. But why? Why am I experienced? Why am I doing this? And for me, it kind of goes back to sort of who I am at a core level. When I was a kid, I was the kid who signed up to, run programs for the Youth Arc, or to get involved in the CYO and tutor kids and, serve at the soup kitchen. This was just what attracted me. Went to college, was on the college newspaper, went to law school. I was editor of the Review of Law and Social Change at NYU Law. Worked as managing a court accompaniment program for battered women, law women, promoting equity, gender equity for female lawyers, doing a lot of that work, right? And then I graduated from law school and I became a corporate lawyer. I clerked for a year in New York, then I went on to a big firm, so did big law for a couple of years, where we had clients like Hasbro and Simon & Schuster, and we were doing intellectual property cases that sometimes had me at the office 100 hours a week. And then got an opportunity to go work for a satellite communications company. And we broke open the satellite communications market for private satellite communications around the world. Very exciting, very interesting. Not community-based at all. And, I got to a point where I would kind of joke that I went to law school to save the world, and I ended up making the world safe for MTV, which happened to be one of the most popular American channels at the time in foreign markets, particularly in Asia. And I was sort of going through a transition in my life, and I said, what do I want? What do I really want? And so I took a step back, and I was working on that when I met my husband, who grew up in Braintree, and
so you sort of wanted a friend.
And Fred looks like he doesn't want to claim me.
I've already been claimed.
His lovely wife, Kathy. And so when I met Bob, he was from the South Shore, and people on the South Shore really don't leave very much, right? You come back. And so it was sort of, I was living in a nice farmhouse in Madison, Connecticut, contemplating life, and Bobby brought me to the South Shore, and we moved to Hanson. And the first thing we did is we said, this is where we're going to raise our family. This is where we're going to set down our roots. And this is where I don't really want to be that corporate lawyer who's traveling around the world. I want to be based in community. I want to build strong communities. We picked Hanson at that time because it was a combination of sort of suburban to a major metropolitan center at the same time. It was a small town in 2003 when we moved there. I got to know so many people in that community by joining the local Kiwanis Club, right? Nobody joins the Kiwanis Club at my age as a female in 2003. I can't tell you the connections I made and the people I met. Some of my greatest friends were through that Kiwanis Clubs. And some of Josh's best supporters, by the way. And I care deeply about this community. This is where I have worked, I have lived, I have volunteered, I have raised my son for the last 20 years. And this is where I want to be. And I think it is an amazing group of communities, all the way between Marshfield and Duxbury and Pembroke and Hanson and Halifax, which all have their unique flavors, but they're all communities I want to fight for. They're communities I want to bring resources back to. Last year I worked with Josh at the State House on the Committee for Labor and Workforce Development. I love union issues because I believe the unions help to build the middle class in this country, and I think we're losing that. So I was gung-ho about going to work on those issues, right? But I noticed when I was there, you see so much else being worked on at the State House. You know, there are issues around, I was just talking to, where's Justin, about addiction issues. You have people working in mental health issues, housing issues, issues that are so important to so many people in our communities. And I would get these emails and I would want to send them to somebody, and I'm like, oh, that's Cole's job. Cole was Josh's chief of staff. And I thought, when Josh decided he was going to take this position as undersecretary, I said, being a state rep allows you to have an impact on so many more issues and to really try to work to build stronger communities.